Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start different. Now it's Peter Brown, Uncle Ed. We are here with our first pilot. That's why it's like a train wreck already. It's a train
I heard
wreck
a
of
baby
show.
in the background.
Oh, dude, you're going to hear tons of stuff. Everybody's at the house right now, so it's crazy. She also loves the hat, so I had to wear the hat. It's a little nerdy, so it kind of works out.
It fits.
Yeah. So, guys, welcome to our first FMTV nerd show. Peter Brown, I kind of hurried him to do this because he wanted to have more graphics and stuff. And I was like, nonsense, Peter Brown. Let's just go with it. Let's just wing it.
Yeah, I threw together that little intro, and look, I'm no animation guy. I don't know that stuff, so I just kind of threw it together with what I knew how to do. And but yeah, I wanted more time. I wanted to really have some graphics and all that. But it's all right. This is fun, and this is it all. I think this all started just because we end up talking about this kind of stuff on the soccer show, and it happened so many times. Not so many, but enough times where people in the chat are like, "I don't care about that show that you're talking about. I don't watch it." But then there's other people that watch the Sunday night show that are just like, can we talk about Kenobi? Can we talk about, boys? Can we talk? So they like it. So we figured let's just roll it out and onto its own little thing on the same channel, same audience, but its own thing. If you're not into it, don't click it. If you are, we're here.
Yeah. So, we're not going to be talking about Inter Miami, I guess, unless you guys bring it up.
I mean, this is still football Miami TV. I guess we can, but the target, the concept behind this is we're talking what Marvel, Star Wars, DC, all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, anything. There's a whole bunch of nerd stuff going on. As a matter of fact, right now we were talking about the books that Peter's reading Star Wars books, and I was telling him how I haven't read a Star Wars book in a long time, but I do read Anne Rice books. I've read a whole bunch of them, most of them. And she's coming out. They're coming out with some series on them. They're coming out with the Witching Hour. They're coming out with the Vampire Chronicles as well. I don't know which one, but so that's coming up. So that's stuff we could talk about down the line if you guys want to talk about it. But
I figured on this show. I mean, I assume you're thinking the same thing. Is that it's just kind of like a bunch of buddies just getting together, talking about the nerdy stuff that they might talk about over a beer and hanging out. We may have some topics here and there to touch on, but it just may be random nonsense. And so, as always, like we do on the Sunday night show, the chat room is open. So get involved with the chat. And also, we still are taking calls. So you can still join the show at 786-474-4435. I actually do have one voicemail for tonight, actually, Ed. One voicemail ready to go for tonight. So,
nice. Well, I just want to remind everybody that, we can talk about whatever you guys want. We kind of have like a little format. We're going to go through a couple of different shows and past shows that have happened and basically whatever, you guys want to talk about. And we'll try to direct it, like that a little bit. In the future, we'll have our, the shows that we're going to be specifically covering. So, Peter.
Yeah,
where do you want to start?
I don't know. There's a lot going on, but I feel like we could use this also for an opportunity for you guys in the chat room to tell us what we should be watching that maybe we're not. Because I think we're going to focus a lot on movies and shows and stuff like that, or what we're reading or not. Because I am a big reader. I'm always reading one or two books at the same time. I'm wrapping up Jason Bourne book, the second one. I think it's called Bourne Supremacy. Nice. I think it was. I forget the name of it. But wrapping that one up, I'm in the last couple chapters. As soon as we're done here, I got to go finish that book. So I'm, we could talk about books, comics. Ed, I don't know if you know, you and I were talking a little bit about, do we still read comics? And I rarely go to the comic book store other than just going to hang out at Tate's a little bit, just look around, and it's because it's kind of fun. I don't buy a ton of stuff because I just want to keep everything digital these days. There's an app called Comixology. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
it's good that you bring it up because I had a big collection of comic books.
Well, this app, it's owned by Amazon. It wasn't created by Amazon. They bought it a couple years ago. It's owned by Amazon, and it's like a $5 a month subscription, because everything's a $5 a month subscription, and you get like not every comic. Sometimes they're like 3 months old or something like that, but there's a time limit where eventually they end up on there, and it's really good for like reading some older stuff too. So like I'll play around with that, like Moon Knight came on, so I was like, okay, let me read some Moon Knight books, to get comfortable.
I haven't even seen Moon Knight yet, man. So there's so much going on that sometimes you can't keep up with it, man.
Yeah. So So anyways, let's everybody in the chat, like we always do.
There's going to be a lot of spoilers.
Go ahead.
I just want people to know this is going to be a lot of spoilers, so you have been warned. You've been warned.
Yeah, and the guys in the chat are saying we're freezing again. I don't know. I don't see any freezing on our end, so not sure about what you guys are saying. I know yesterday Ed was not seeing any freezing going on, so I don't know if it's a YouTube thing or what. Yeah.
I'm looking right now, but I haven't seen it yet. Well, I was kind of looking at some other stuff right now, so I didn't notice it for freezing, but hopefully, we'll be able to, that'll be able to knock itself out, and we'll be good. But let's start talking. Let's say hello to some of the people, Peter.
Yeah. Brown. So if you haven't said hi in the chat, do so. I only see a few people in, and again, this is the first time we're doing this. We don't know how good this is going to do, if anybody's interested in it or not. We were interested, so and it being the very next day after we did a live, I don't know if scheduling works, but this is the schedule that could fit into our lives. So unfortunately, that's kind of where it ends up, so close together. But so far, I mean, what I see, Ed, I'm not sure if you see anything different. I see it's MRG in the chat, and I've never seen this chatter before. So welcome. Maybe Monday night's a good night for you. Judge Dredd.
MRG.
Judge Dredd is in the chat. Force is strong in the chat. Of course, Eric Thomas is always here.
Of course.
Our old buddy,
look at that! Our good friend
Neil Leonard. Neil, how big of a nerd are
you?
He's a soccer fan. I'm curious how big of a nerd is. Yeah, we're gonna turn him into a nerd. And then Guyver is in there as well. I know I'm stealing your thunder a little bit, Ed. Nice. You're like ready to like make announcements, and I'm just doing it for you.
No, I'm cool. No, I think it's good. There's a lot of people also hopefully connecting on Facebook. Yeah. We're also on Twitter.
Yep.
So we're all over the place today.
And I'm looking up a way to also get us on Instagram as well, streaming live on Instagram.
Oh, that's nice.
Neil, what is this?
We'll be on everything then.
Neil's asking, what is this? Neil, it's the Nerd Show. We decided to do a show about our favorite, nerdy topics here. We've got an audience that likes this stuff, and so we figured let's talk about it with them. And also Judge Dredd enjoying my Disney ride wall in the background. So normally you can't see this because this is my normal office background. Usually you see my green screen going on, but I figured it's a nerdy show, Ed. I should be able to show these posters behind me because that is super nerdy.
And it looks good, Peter Brown. I actually liked it too when I first saw it. And I thought for a second it was a green screen, but then I was like, no, it's not.
No, that's my background. That's my everyday life. Some Disneyland / World ride posters. So if you don't know, I'm a huge Disney fan. So that may come up on here as well. So,
well, I like how Neil is saying he's been uncool since the 1950s.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
a long time
back, Neil.
It's a long time, man. Yeah. Neil used to call himself on like the old social media stuff. If I remember. On like the old message boards and stuff, it was like Antique. He used to always go by the name Antique.
Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah, on Big Soccer.
Yeah, Big Soccer. That's what I couldn't remember the name of it.
I was Chi-Chi right under Big Soccer. I remember.
Yeah,
Which one were you? What was your name on Big Sucker?
I think it was PB9000. So it's kind of like, it sounded like a robot. It sounded like a Star Wars robot, but it has my initials in it. That was my thinking behind it.
That works. Guys, just a reminder, if you want to call in, 786-474-4435. We can talk anything that you guys want to talk about. And I guess we're going to start, Peter Brown,
Okay.
with your least favorite. Let's go with DC Comics.
DC Comics. It was specifically, what do you want to talk about?
Well, there's a whole bunch of shows going on right now, Peter, and I don't. Were you a big DC fan back in the day? Did you buy the Superman and?
Yeah, I mean, I was always a big Batman and Superman fan. Superman sometimes is hard to stick with for long term because he doesn't have as interesting of a, he doesn't he there's no real trauma in his life, right? So. Things are a little bit too easy for him, I guess, and his rogues gallery is not as interesting maybe as some of like Batman's rogues gallery, but yeah, I mean, what? One of my favorite comics things was back in the '80s, if I remember, maybe late '90s. Or early 90s, maybe. Late 80s, early 90s. It was when they did Amalgam Comics. Do you remember Amalgam Comics, Ed?
Yeah.
That was when they took
I think I had some
DC and Marvel and they mushed them together. That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
But I follow here. But here's my problem, Ed, with DC. So they've got some decent TV projects but I'm not really into the CW stuff. I can't. I have a hard time. I watched a few seasons of The Arrow, 1 or 2 seasons of The Flash. I couldn't stick with it. And their movies are hit or miss. Right. But
lately they've
been a little more miss than hit, right?
Well, right now they've got the Clark and Lois, since we're talking about Superman.
All right.
They've got that show going on, which is pretty interesting. I've been watching it. The person that right now is the antagonist is a lady who's like, I forgot her name, man. I can't believe I'm not that prepared. But yeah, she's like the parasite because she's able to absorb Superman's powers. So she's been able to take away his powers, and right now Superman is powerless. And then on the latest episode, I think they're on the 14th episode, and the next one is the finale. So that one should be pretty good because obviously Superman's going to get his powers back, hopefully, and that'll be interesting. But the cool thing about that show, Peter, is that it's Superman's family.
Okay.
So this is a it's not like Smallville. He's in Smallville too, but it's not like the Smallville TV show where he was growing up. This is a grown-up Clark Kent and Lois Lane, who married and relocated to Smallville to raise their children. They have two twin kids, and one of them is is demonstrating powers. So the other one's feeling left out, and that's the whole drama that's going on right now between them. So it's kind of interesting.
All right, if
you want to watch it. So
yeah,
if you guys are watching us.
I struggle again with the CW stuff, and that's on the CW, is it not?
I believe so, yeah.
But, I don't know if you have HBO Max, because I think we've talked about this on the Sunday night show. I have like every streaming service under the sun, too many. HBO Max, though, has their whole like DC section, and where you can see a ton of DC stuff. So I know that's there. I just haven't gotten around to it. Right.
With all your nerd books and stuff, it's kind of hard for you to get to it, Peter Brown.
But Ed, if you want to talk DC, let's talk about this.
Nice.
I mean,
Black
Adam trailer came out recently, right? And I think this movie is coming out in October. I know this movie's coming out in October. I did a little homework. And then a couple months after that, I think in December, Shazam is coming out. And these two characters are related. But I'll be honest, Ed, I don't know a ton about Black Adam. I always thought Black Adam was a bad guy, but it almost feels like he's being portrayed as a hero in this. So
he's anti-hero. What happened is he he actually stole the power. I don't know. I think there's a couple of different versions of Black Adam, but the idea is that he stole his power from the wizard Shazam, and it happened because he was a slave, and I think it was his kid who saved him, or I think that's the premise of the movie.
Okay.
Where the kid saves him, and I think the kid's got the powers or something like that, and to save his father who was dying, I think he somehow gave the power to him, somewhat loosely. That's what I think it's about. But the thing is, the wizard Shazam actually captured him and put him away in stasis or whatever, so that he wouldn't do any more damage, because he released, I think, I don't know if they're the seven evil spirits or something like that of the world. So, and those spirits killed other wizards, and the only one that was left was Shazam.
So do you think so you're going super geeky here? I mean, that's what this show is. This show's all about that.
I'm telling you, I know a lot of this crap.
Is any of this stuff in the movie, or do you think they just fast forward to, all right, we're gonna show like a scroll and give you his backstory, like a Star Wars scroll, give you some of his backstory, and then they're just gonna throw him at a time when he's been released into modern day? Like, is that you think? And now he's maybe because I did see there's a scene in the trailer where, and this is cool. I love the fact that Hawkman is in the trailer. I thought that was super cool, and Hawkman is kind of confronting him about. He said something like, "Heroes don't kill people." And The Rock goes, "I do." So it sounds like he's trying to be a hero, but he's kind of like the Punisher in Marvel, where it's like he's a hero, but he'll take someone out with no problem.
He'll kill people, and I think that they showed a little bit of that in the trailer, because they start shooting at him, and he takes these people out like nothing.
Yeah,
he's like super powerful. He's up there with Superman. And I think eventually it's going to tie in with the Shazam family or whatever. Which I was never too thrilled about all those Shazam family. You saw the Shazam, right?
I did see Shazam, and it was okay. Like, I've heard some people love it, and for me, it was just okay. It was I had a problem with like the fake muscles on the lead actor. And that's the thing about this Black Adam is those are The Rock. He doesn't have to wear some fake like the Shazam guy had. And so, but from what I understand, this Black Adam movie comes out, and then in December they're going to have a Shazam movie where it's basically Shazam versus Black Adam. That's what I heard. I don't know a lot about it.
I don't know if that's the case, but that would be real interesting, because it's basically one movie after the other. We got to watch Black Adam to see what it's about. Apparently, it will be his origin story plus him coming back. We do know that Shazam, the wizard Shazam, captures Black Adam and leaves him. I think thousands of years he's been incarcerated or whatever. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see what how he if he fights also with Hawkman and all these other guys, Dr. Fate. They've got all these characters that are I don't know if they're Dr. Fate or if they're going to be on the same team.
Dr. Fate's old in this too, right? That's Pierce Brosnan. We got a little 007 in this movie.
Yeah, look at that. I'm excited to see what happens. The Dr. Fate, his thing is the mask. It goes from one person to another.
Okay.
So, so apparently he's had the mask for a long time, and they say it's more of a burden than an actual, a superpower that's great. So I think he could relate a lot to Black Adam, because Black Adam's, like we said, an anti-hero. So yeah, it should be interesting. But I'm looking forward to watching these movies, man. They're going to be awesome.
Bruno says his outfit is hideous compared to Captain Marvel / Shazam. I don't know. I dig
I actually like it.
I dig that costume. I think it's super cool. It's just basically black with a lightning strike down the middle.
The lightning
Eric-
streak down the middle.
Eric
I think
Thomas-
it was kind of cool.
Eric Thomas thinks that Shazam was horrendous. Yeah, and see, the first time I saw Shazam, I thought it was okay. I liked the fact that it had a little comedic undertones to it because that's the one thing that Marvel does way better than DC. But again, my biggest issue is I just think they had the wrong guy for Shazam. Just the wrong actor. And then at the end of Shazam, when you got like all his buddies now are all Shazam powers, it's all very like super friends. It's so cheesy. It was a little cheesy.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't like that too because now he divides his power amongst his friends or whatever.
Whatever it was.
So it's like I didn't look at Eric saying yeah, there were some cheap jokes and stuff like that. So whatever. So basically, I know in the comic books, Captain Marvel is actually his Shazam's real name. But
I think
I don't know if you knew that, Peter.
I did, but I think there might have been a lawsuit or something about that between the two companies.
Marvel Comics, somehow won because I don't know how they won the lawsuit because I don't know, but
I don't know.
DC, I mean, Captain Marvel, the DC version, which is Shazam, he. Around before the other Captain Marvel, so a long time before.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so it's hard to believe they must have had some type of compromise and say, well, you know what, we're gonna, we'll just not use that name.
All right, Ed, enough of Shazam. You mentioned DC. There was one other thing you had listed on your bullet points, and that was
I sure did.
Joker Part 2.
Peter Brown. Oh yeah, the Joker. Well, there was also some other stuff that we didn't get to, but Joker Part 2. It looks like they're going to make that movie, Peter Brown.
I heard
that is,
but I don't know if this is true or not.
With Joaquin Phoenix, though.
Yes,
his version.
But I heard that it was going to be a musical.
A musical.
That's what I heard. I'm actually going to Google it right now because that's what I heard.
If it's a musical, wow, that's going to be weird. Well, it kind of, he is insane. So, a lot of, I don't know if you guys didn't see the movie, there's a lot of parts of the movie where you can't tell if it's for real or if it's just his imagination. Like he had a relationship with a girl, but he really didn't. And it turns out he really didn't.
Yeah. So Lady Gaga is going to be in the movie, and she's going to be playing Harley Quinn. And so the rumors are that this could become a musical. So, which, I don't know. Because the Joker was very dark, and it was okay. I only watched it once. It wasn't good. Like, some people loved it. I think it was nominated for awards, and while it was cool, I don't know. In some ways, it wasn't comic book enough for me. It's too grounded in reality, I guess. Too much of just a psycho. And so I watched it once, and it was all right. I liked it. I didn't love it. But Joker 2, when is it? Do you have any? When is? I mean, I think they're not haven't even started filming that, so that's not coming out this year. Maybe 23.
No, that was they're still making the project. That's why I'm surprised that you said it was going to be a musical. I was like, whoa, that's
what I heard. I'm listening to some podcasts and things that I like to listen to, and I heard people talking about that. And maybe that's just because, hey, Lady Gaga is going to be in it, and so that's where it's going with it. But anyways,
I did see something about the Lady Gaga, but I wasn't too sure. Talk about movies that they're going to make. It looks like there's a whole new parent company for DC Comics now, and it looks like and I forgot.
Did they sell it off? I know they talked about selling it off.
Yeah, I think they did. I'm not too sure if you guys know anything more about that. I should have looked it up, Peter Brown. But you could maybe look it up real quick while I'm talking, because another movie that they're talking about, since there's new people coming aboard, it looks like Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Looks like they're gonna make a movie, another movie where he's gonna star in as Superman again. Because dude, he looks like Superman. It was.
Yeah, he's good.
It's kind of hard to see other people dressed up as Superman. I mean, the CW show or whatever. I'm kind of used to him now as being Superman on TV, but as far as in movies, Henry Cavill's Superman. So.
Yeah, he did well. I like the what was it, the Man of Steel movie? I like that. I thought that was good.
I thought it was good too.
And he was good in the Justice League Snyder cut. I mean, and I even liked the other cut. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. The DC movies aren't great. When you compare them to Marvel, they're just not great. And that'll be interesting to see what they do with that Black Adam. But so far the DC movies they're just okay. They're good. I was actually watching Batman versus Superman the other day.
Right. I actually like them. The one of course, I think the better movies are the Wonder Woman movie and Aquaman. I thought it was pretty good.
Wonder Woman I thought was okay. Aquaman I liked. And
did you see the Wonder Woman 1984?
Oh, that was horrible. That's like the worst movie ever. That was bad.
That was something.
That's taking a good actor and making him look bad. You took the Mandalorian main actor and he looked horrible in that movie.
Oh, he was trying to look the part of the 80s, I guess.
It was super. It wasn't even the way he looked. It's the overacting. His acting was just bad. But I've seen him do good acting. He was in Narcos. I forgot his name. He was in Narcos. He's in The Mandalorian and everything, and he's a good actor. So I'm assuming he's only he's doing okay. Game of Thrones. I assume he's doing just what the director tells him to do, but it was just bad. Ed, it's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. I guess it was good enough because it was going to be a third Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but I think that movie. So that woman that directed that movie, again, I forget her name as well. She was in line to do a Star Wars movie, and that her movie, it seems like it was killed. Like they're not doing her Star Wars movie, and I think that's because Wonder Woman '84 was so bad. They're like, no, we're not giving you a Star Wars movie. I mean, it's the same thing. So. It's the same thing with The Last Jedi. The guy that did The Last Jedi, they were going to give him a whole trilogy. And then The Last Jedi came out and performed so-so, like not great. And so they were like, all right, well, we're going to leave you in limbo. We won't actually give it, take it away from you yet, but we're not actually doing anything with it either.
Right.
Star Wars likes to do that.
That was a bad one too, man.
I switched gears on you without signaling.
Yeah. So should we just go with Star Wars since you talked about Star Wars?
Sure. I mean, I am wearing the shirt after all, and you got the lightsaber.
And I've got... You're not my father.
Pop characters. Nice little Luke Skywalker.
There you go. See? So, yeah, we got it going, guys. We got it going. Anyways. Peter, where do we start? Because there's so much Star Wars stuff going on.
Well, I mean...
right now, let's go with Kenobi.
I think you have to start with Kenobi and back to live mode. I'm producing as I'm doing this.
Kenobi.
Yeah, because that series just wrapped up 6 episodes and it was so well received that that there's talks about a season 2, because when they planned this, it was a limited series, so the intent was for it to be 1 season only. But it did so well that they're talking about potentially season 2. But Ed, what did you think of the Kenobi series when you look at it now as a whole? Because now we've got all 6 episodes. When you look at it as a whole, what are your thoughts?
I got to tell you, I like the ending. The whole process of getting there, I thought was kind of underwhelming.
Wow.
But as a Star Wars fan, I was watching anyway. I didn't like the character. What's her name? Gosh, I can't believe her name. I forgot her name. What was she? The second or third sister? The third sister.
Third sister. Right? Yep.
Yeah. What was her name? They mentioned her name. I forgot. Well, third sister.
As I get older, I remember
like
stuff like that.
Yeah, we're getting old, so we're forgetting.
I can't forget it. I forget all
guys.
that.
So forgive us.
So you didn't you didn't care for her?
Yeah, I didn't like. No, I didn't, and I think her whole and of course, guys, everything's with spoilers. If you guys haven't seen, go away for a few minutes because we're gonna ruin it for you guys.
I think this whole show is always gonna be that way, right?
Yeah, we just got to put We got to put big spoilers thing as soon as we get on, Peter. So yeah, so basically, yeah, I didn't like her character because it was I don't know. I don't. It wasn't the actress. It's just the whole, her whole trying to make her good. She was bad, and well, she was a youngling first of all that survived,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently Anakin or Darth Vader stabbed her, and she pretended to be dead, and she survived, and later on became one of the acolytes that the Star Wars has. The bad guys. What are they called? Gosh, see, I'm forgetting everything, Peter.
Sorry, I was doing something.
Oh well. Anyways, so there you go. Spoiler alerts.
There you
No
go.
wonder you were busy.
I was doing something
I was
here.
wondering what you were doing. Well, yeah. So yeah, once again, I didn't like her character. It seemed like she was a little forced, in there to create sympathy towards her towards the end. But how in tarnation does she survive another stabbing from Darth Vader? Everybody gets stabbed,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody dies. What's the deal with this?
Yeah, nobody dies. I know, but I still like it a lot. I don't. I see. I don't agree with you that it end. It yes, I agree that it ended well. I thought the entire season, all the way through, was awesome. I thought even when you were thinking it was slow, I didn't. So, and that's coming from. I'm not the biggest prequel fan, and this is definitely got your prequel vibes to it, but it was so much better, I think, than the prequels. And I know the prequels are now become beloved. And the interesting thing, this is a total tangent, but I was having this conversation with my daughter recently. So, our generation, for the most part, prequels came out. And I'm bringing this topic up because everybody now is today complaining about the Disney version of Star Wars, right? Saying Disney killed Star Wars, right? So, but that same conversation was happening when the prequels came out because as older guys that grew up with the original trilogy didn't care for the prequels and say, "Oh, these suck." Whatever. That's not our trilogy. And now those group of people are all 30, 40 something year old people, and they've got kids. Now the prequels have a newfound respect. People love the prequels. And I say the same exact thing is going to happen to this Disney era, this whole Finn and Rey and all the new stuff. It's gonna get that same love when my daughter's generation is now the parents and stuff like that. So, anyways, I thought this show was like a really nice bridge between the prequel and A New Hope. I liked it a lot. My biggest issue, and there's no way around it, my biggest issue is that Obi-Wan is not. So he's got like what, 10 more years until A New Hope. He's not going to all of a sudden become a 70-year-old man in 10 years. Alec Guinness is like a 70-year-old man in that, and he's not going to all of a sudden be that old. And there's no way around that. I mean, but other than some makeup, but that was my biggest issue with it. But I love this show. Yeah, I agree with you as far as people don't die. The third sister thing, she should have been killed. But from what I understand, it's like Star Wars is all about the redemption story, and these guys, fighting was amazing. The fights were amazing, but it's all about the redemption. So the original trilogy, is about Anakin's redemption, and at the end. And so this one, I guess, was the third sister redemption. There's rumors that she might get her own series.
Yeah, and that should be pretty interesting. But I don't know. I'm not too. Like I said, I was not too much of a fan of hers. And sorry because I got something in my eye. If you guys if you guys see me crying, it's not because of how long Peter talked and bored me. It's just that something got in my eye.
But that could be true as well.
That's true. Sorry, guys. Ouch. I don't know what went in my eye. Anyways, but yeah, I love the fight, Peter. That was
Yeah.
incredible. When that's why busted out my lightsaber here. I'm getting into it. You need to get one so we can act like we're fighting or something.
Yeah, but the one I want to get is the one that's at Galaxy's Edge in Disney World or in Disneyland. But that's a $200 lightsaber. It's the ones you make.
Whoa.
You go into a whole experience where they take you to this room and you kind of pick your crystal and all this it's a whole ceremony involved with it. But it is an expensive lightsaber, so that's why I do not have one. But if I was to buy one, that's what I would want. Maybe. I actually, before doing that, I want to go there and get
a video of that.
Yeah. Before doing that, though, I want to get the droid because they do have the droid depot there where you could put together your own droid. And maybe I could put together like a black and pink droid, make like an Inner Miami droid. I mean,
nice. That would be awesome.
I mean, I already have one.
I
already got one here, But this is different. This is old. This is really old, and it doesn't work anymore. But it used to.
It's still pretty cool.
This used to, you were able to program it. It would go get you a beer and stuff, basically, sort of. If you put it,
you should get it. You should get it. You should change the view so we can see it better, Peter, because it's still in the little circle, and it looks little.
This?
There you go.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Nice.
Bigger than my head. It's pretty big, but
nice. And it used to work.
It used to
Think
work.
you can fix it, or is it fixable?
No, because like a dummy, in my 20s, I had it, and I didn't remove the batteries, and I put it in storage, and the batteries kind of leaked and kind of destroyed the insides. You know how batteries, if you take them out, you don't take them out, it kind of screws up the insides. They can leak out, and that did happen.
Oh.
So I don't think there's any way to fix it. So now it's just decoration.
You haven't tried putting new batteries in, cleaning it up a little bit?
I lost my earpiece.
No, I was saying. Oh, there. Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. Lost my earpiece
There.
while I was playing around with that thing.
No, I was saying, is there no way to clean it up and maybe fix it a little bit?
I don't know about the interiors. Maybe not. The outside looks brand new. It looks good. It's just that inside that's kind of messed up. But I don't know. You can in Disney though. You can create your own like little remote control droid, and you can make a BB unit. You can make an R2 unit. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
But
well, I think that would be a great video, and we should definitely invest in getting you that lightsaber, Peter.
The droid is the droid is only $100, so that's why I kind of lean towards that. And I could see myself sitting there using the remote control, playing around with the droid more so than the lightsaber. But it could
work out also for this show,
Okay.
have it in the background or
Right.
something.
Well, let's get a few more of these under our belt before we think about doing stuff like that.
Yeah, before we start doing it.
Bruno,
but let's talk a little bit since we're talking about that. What did Bruno say?
Bruno says, I need a green Luke Skywalker lightsaber and a Darth Maul dual saber. They used to sell them at GameStop. So, okay, before we move on, if you were to buy a lightsaber and you were to spend the $200, right? Let's say you're going to go to Galaxy's Edge and Disney World and go through this experience where you get a really high-end lightsaber, and you put it together. You pick some elements of this. You kind of pick a theme, and within that theme, you want like dark side, light side, or whatever. Within that theme, there's different bolts and things you could put on it to make it your own. But at the end of the day, you still have to deal with specific colors. So you're either green, blue. I think they might have a purple because of Mace, and of course they have a red. What color lightsaber, Ed, if you were to go and customize your own lightsaber, working within the existing color schemes, what would you do?
Well, I was gonna say, I would get the Inter Miami pink,
but that's not an option necessarily. You could go red,
right? Thanks for ruining it for him. Yeah, I'd probably go red.
So you're dark side all day then.
I'll be dark side all day. You're the goody two shoe Jedi.
I am.
I can see you wearing the robes and everything.
No, I'm not doing that. But I would definitely. I would go green. I want myself a Luke Skywalker green lightsaber. I would go green all day. And they actually want to. They actually have, and at Galaxy's Edge, they will have. these meets where fans get together and they all light up their lightsabers, and it's pretty darn cool. In that the way they do this. And I'm gonna find an image and bring it up here for a second. But yeah, so they you could build your lightsaber there, and then they'll have every once in a while they'll have like a meetup where people just get together and they bring their lightsabers, and it looks something like this, Ed.
Oh wow!
So you got and that's like legit image. That's not like well, I mean, it might be enhanced a little in Photoshop, but these are all these nerds at the Disney World or Disneyland that buy their lightsabers, and they meet up, and Disney actually works with them to like everybody light up your lightsabers all at one time, and they take pictures and they make a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
that's cool, isn't it?
I like all the different colors. A lot of reds, some yellows in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know about that yellow. I mean, that just might be the way the photo is taken. But anyways,
it looks pretty interesting. I kind of like it. Peter, what do you think about these new series that are coming out? Ahsoka's coming out soon. They've got the Andor one that's coming. Andor, can you explain a little bit more about it? Because I know you're like a Star Wars geek, you know all the details. But Andor is basically what? A prequel of the what was the movie that came out? That was a prequel of A New Hope.
Yeah, it's I'm looking for my stinking image. I came prepared a little bit.
There it is.
So yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, Andor. There's no spoiler alert on this. We don't know what's going on yet. Yeah,
but it looks cool.
Yeah, and
in case we guess something.
Andor is Cassian Andor. He's the guy from Rogue One, and we all know how it ends. He dies. He dies at the end, so there's no surprise in how it ends. And this apparently this story is going to take place about 5 years after Kenobi. So there is potential where some Kenobi type characters, like potentially the third sister, could show up in this, just 5 years older. But I like this because I do know that they're going to start off with where he's like a kid, and it's going to show like his why he, I guess, went and joined the rebellion. But in Rogue One, he does make a comment, something to the effect, and this is not a quote, but he says something to the effect that he's done a lot of bad things in the name of good. So something like that, where because he's basically saying, like, in the beginning of the movie, he kills his the guy that was giving him the information. He kills him just because the guy couldn't climb up over the fence, and the stormtroopers are going to get him. So it's better to kill him than let the stormtroopers get him and get the information out of him. So he's that kind of character. It's like he's doing it for the right reasons. He's doing it for the rebellion, but he'll do the bad thing for the right people. And that's kind of a cool story, especially if they delve into that in this series. The dark side of Star Wars.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to look forward to my granddaughter's trying to get in here. She's trying her darndest to get in here, but I locked the door. But anyways, I'm looking forward to that, man, and it's going to be awesome. I'll be there in a second.
Yeah. So back to the lightsaber conversation. There was a delay going on. Guyver was asking if they have a black saber. No. Bruno was saying they have a black crystal. Not at Disney, they don't. I don't think. It's just your kind of more traditional colors. But I think they might have a white. But so Bruno is asking about Andor. He's a cool character, but does anyone really want his backstory? Well, I mean, I guess you could say no, but because we don't know it, so it all depends on how well they do it. So if they make it interesting, then yeah, we want his backstory. If they do a crappy job, then we're going to go, well, that was a waste of time. But so far, I think the Disney Plus TV series are hitting it out of the park. They've all been either good. They've been good to really good. I think the weakest one so far has been Boba Fett.
I agree.
Which
Boba Fett,
sad.
which they should have made him more of a badass, man. I just
speaking of, this was cool. So recently, we talked about on one of our last shows. I was in California and I went to Galaxy's Edge in California in Disneyland. I was in their Star Wars land in Disneyland, and I walked through there for a minute because it's the same as what we have in Disney World. So what's the point of spending a lot of time there? But while we walked through, they added something new. Because here's the one thing that sucks about Galaxy's Edge is they decided to take this entire land and put it between episodes 7 and 8. I think 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So it's right in between. Or no, is it between 7 or between 8 and 9? I think so the entire land takes place inside of a specific storyline. So where people want to see all the retro characters, you can't because they don't fit in that storyline. Well, they've decided to loosen that up because they're listening to the fans. The fans want to see your classic characters walking around in this land. We don't care about the stupid storyline. Just bring us the cool characters. So, having said that, they had Boba Fett walking around. And it was the Boba Fett from the Disney Plus series because he's got like the bit of the skirt sticking out that he doesn't have in the movies. He's got that because of his time with the Sand People. And it was really cool. It's just a silly guy in a costume, but it's one of those things. You see him walking through this crowd of people, and the sea of people just part. And then you got Ed. We're nerds. We're nothing in compared to these guys. All of a sudden, a guy drops down in front of Boba Fett and just going, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy." And, Boba tells him to rise and all that. And everybody starts chanting, "Boba, Boba, Boba." And this is in the middle of the theme park. And it's pretty cool seeing that. And that was really neat. And that's something they're doing right. It was really neat.
That is really cool. Yeah, that's cool that they're going with what the fans want to see. And now I want to go.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do a trip. Our two families can go to Disney. We can go to Disney World. You don't have to go to California. They got the same thing here. The only difference is currently Disneyland is the only place that's got the walking characters. They haven't brought those out to Disney World yet. The only walking characters they have in Disney World are the ones from the movies. So you've got the stormtroopers and you've got Finn. No, you don't even have Finn. You've got Rey. You got Chewbacca. You got Darth Vader's like weaker nephew out there walking around, wimp of a guy walking around. But it is very, very cool. One thing that was Esteban Mejia brought up: the Sith story will be the Acolyte Disney Plus show. Interesting thing. So
yes,
going back to that, I don't know how much of it's exactly going to be Sith. What we do know, I think it's going to be Sith, but what we definitely do know, it's going to take place in the High Republic era. And I don't know, this is where you went super geeky on the Black Adam. This is my opportunity in the Star Wars. And this is a novel series. It's comic books and novels right now. Star Wars decided to wipe out all the old books, right? And they made them legends, pissed off a lot of people. But then they decided, okay, we're going to create a whole new series for story that takes place 300 years before A New Hope. So that way they have room. They can develop new characters. They don't have to worry about stepping on the toes and ruining timelines and stuff like that. They got the freedom to write whatever they want. So they started in the books. Currently, there's 3 novels. There's 3 adult novels. There's some, like young teen or teen novels and stuff like that as well. But the main books, the novels, the adult novels, there's 3 of them so far. There's a 4th one coming out in October. And the Acolyte is going to take place in the High Republic. And what's neat about that is the High Republic is the heyday of the Jedi. The Jedi are like almighty. Things are perfect. Things are great. It's awesome. Of course, something goes wrong. It has to. But so this is going to be in the High Republic era, but introducing some of that dark side into the High Republic era. So,
Nice.
rumored to be
Looking
Sith.
forward to that.
Rumored to be Sith, but we won't know until we really see it. But that I think is coming out. I'm not sure if that's this year. I think that might be next year because we do have coming up sooner than that is we have the Ahsoka series coming out before that.
Ahsoka, yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you got to see they had a video that came out in the beginning of the year. What's going to happen? It's going to be her, I think, going after Grand Admiral Thrawn.
There was talk about Thrawn.
So that'll be interesting.
And Thrawn's another one of those guys that came from the novels, and you read him in those books that became legacy books, but then they brought him back in. Because
he's just a badass character.
He's just super
I really
cool.
like his. Yeah, he's a cool character to bring back, and I think it's going to go through with I don't know if you saw Rebels, the cartoon.
A little bit, not all of them, but here and there.
So I think that's that's kind of following that timeline a little bit. I think where she's looking for Ezra Bridger, and who's also a Jedi, I guess. So that should be interesting because there's another potential Jedi right there, that Darth Vader could kill.
Baldwin.
I want Darth Vader to kill all these people, man. That's just the Sith in me, Peter.
Well, yeah.
I want him to get the third sister. I want him to get Ezra Bridger. I want him to get Ahsoka. I want all of them. He needs to exterminate them all.
So here's what I like, just off topic, but Baldwin Ford jumps in, and first off, he's like, "What is this?" And I'm adding my own tone to it, assuming he's like, "What the hell did I stumble upon?" But then quickly jumps right into it, saying, "Are they making a Knights of the Old Republic?" I guess is what he's thinking. And that the closest thing to that would be this the show we were talking about, Acolyte. That'd be the closest thing to it. And then he also mentions that Star Wars post Return of the Jedi novels were the best. Stupid decision by Disney. The funny. Oh, and you can't see any of these things. I thought I was showing these. But I was. Disney, I think, realizes they kind of made a mistake. So they've now been promoting a lot of these Legends books, and they're re-releasing some of these legends. They call them Legends. They're re-releasing because what they did is they wiped away the Legends, but they said all these books that happened after Return of the Jedi before Disney bought the company didn't happen. They don't exist. We're just wiping them away. But you can enjoy them. We'll still promote them. Not promote them, but publish them. But what they've done is they've picked here and there from those novels the characters that they do like, and like Thrawn, and then reintroduced them into the current timeline. And so, they could do that with some popular characters like Mara Jade, Saboth. They could bring him back, and these are to me those are the original Timothy Zahn trilogy that came out, which was amazing, and that's where Thrawn was first introduced.
So this is I'm looking forward to seeing all this. The Ahsoka I think is going to be pretty cool. She's I liked how they brought her back when in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, great actress too. She did
where
good.
Luke Skywalker came out. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. And a lot of people are asking for a Luke Skywalker show. Even though it's it would be I guess I don't know. I don't know if they'd use the same actor, or there's other actors that could probably take over that as Luke Skywalker, right?
Yeah, I mean they actually they got a guy that looks a lot like him, and they've been digitally screening over him. But I mean they found an actor that looks a lot like him, and then digitally altered his face because they figured it's easier to digitally alter somebody that already kind of looks like him. So they could just stop altering him and just use him. But there was also comments by Kathleen Kennedy, the ILM president, Lucasfilm president, that they were gonna stop with Kenobi was going to be like the last of the original Skywalker era characters. Like they're not going to use but then again, they change their minds all the time. You know, they see dollars and they may do it.
Right.
But so we may never see, because there was talk about actually potentially making. There's a bug in here. They were talking about potentially making a Jedi Academy show, which would be with Luke, and then
that would be awesome,
right? And you could see maybe Grogu going to the Jedi Academy someday. I mean, currently he's hanging out with the Mandalorian, but maybe he changes his mind and goes back. You know, who knows? But
and then Kylo Ren could destroy it.
Destroy it all. Right. Those were good books too.
But
Those were
what
the Kevin J. Anderson novel series. That was the Jedi Academy books. Those were really good too, back in the 90s.
No, I was just going to mention how Kylo Ren, like he was portrayed as like being real powerful, and then every movie he just got less powerful. You know, he just got weaker and weaker till the Emperor killed him.
Yep. I agree with Baldwin here. Peter is a cool nerd.
Well, Peter knows his Star Wars.
Baldwin was also asking if they're still making a Rangers show now that they fired the actress from Mando. No, but there has been talk about bringing her back potentially in a Mandalorian aspect. Or
I
something
thought they already brought her back.
No. She said some very right wing things. You know, that's when people get into politics and it ruins your career and stuff like that. So she mentioned I forgot what the comments were, but it's something very right wing, and she got fired. So.
They just that's one of those subjects that, we try. Peter and I have different political ideas, but we never talk about politics. We just talk about nerd stuff.
At the end of the day,
we get along swell.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, our politics might be different, but me personally, I could just speak for myself. I'm not that into politics, so it's not even something I normally talk about. I vote, but I'm not that into it. So I'd rather talk about this than that. And it's just more fun. It's not divisive. I said it's not divisive, but it can be. It still can be.
Oh, it can, because sometimes you don't agree with with some of the stuff that I say. The Elmo hat, dude. I just thought do something a little different. It's for the grandkids and all, so they like it. Grandkids like it. They don't think it's creepy, but I can see how it could be creepy. A
40-something-year-old man wearing a Elmo hat.
50.
Oh, okay. I was throwing a ticket. I didn't want to put too many years on you, so I didn't know.
I already hit the 50, man.
Oh, all right. Welcome. And you call me old. You're not that much younger.
I'm right behind you, Peter Brown. Right behind you.
Yeah.
So I think we covered a lot of Star Wars. Why don't we move on to like we said earlier, if you guys want us to talk about a certain subject, we'll go ahead and do that. But let's gear over a little bit to the Marvel universe, Peter. That's another one of your favorites.
Okay. What do you want to talk about? We got a few minutes left.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna. It's just Star Wars. You just went off on Star Wars, man, and
I'm very passionate about Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like Star Wars. So all right, so Marvel, man, we got Thor: Love and Thunder coming up.
Yeah.
Have you seen the preview on that one?
Yeah. I did see the preview on that, and it feels like they're going in the same vein as Thor 3, which was basically a comedy. It looks like this is going to follow suit, just a big comedy. But I'll be interested to see what's her name, Jane, how she gets the powers. I don't know that story, so it'll be interesting to see how she gets the powers.
It's interesting because in the comic there was a female version of Thor. But this apparently is not the same thing. So I think they're going with that idea of a female Thor. But I don't think it's going to follow the comic at all. And I like all the supporting characters. I mean, there's a lot of characters in this sucker, man. Look at all that. Look at all those people.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. I'm trying to figure something out here.
Like Baldwin wants to keep talking about Star Wars.
No. He was saying, we excited about Thor or just Star Wars, So he's telling us move on. That's the problem with I do love Marvel, but I will talk your ear off about Star Wars. But yeah, loving the Thor movies coming out in a few weeks or something. I think it's coming out in July. Is it not? At some point, sometime in July.
Yeah.
So soon.
Pretty soon. So it looks like it's going to be a fun movie. A lot of characters coming back from the previous movie. So it looks a lot. It looks like a good one. Oh, Faye Lou Brown. Who's that?
That is my sister. I mean, that's not her real name, but that's the name she goes with on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think and so in this they're bringing in what is Hercules in it, or is there something? I thought I read I was hearing something Zeus, and I get confused with that. I always thought Odin and Zeus are kind of the same character. Are they not? I mean,
no, they're different. Thor's from the Norse, Norse god. Universe, I guess you could call it, and the other one's from the Greek version, I guess.
I always thought they're basically the same character.
But in Marvel, it's interesting because all these guys are together. They know each other, so I think it's kind of fun. And it looks like Zeus and Thor fight, and I don't know. Except from what I've seen in the previews and stuff, but it looks like it's going to be fun on the trailer. So it looks like it's going to be fun, and the antagonist is actually forgot the character's name. And see, we're getting old, Peter. He's a killer of gods, so he does away with a whole bunch of gods, not just in the Earth's realm, and across the universe. So he's just killing all these gods and demigods and he's getting more powerful as he does it. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go with what's in the comics, look, that's Bruno's talking about Loki. Yeah, Loki's there.
He's in there. He's in that picture. Definitely there.
So so that's how they bring him back. I mean, Loki's he's a trickster, man. That guy, he doesn't want to go away.
And that was a good Disney Plus show. That was a really good show.
That was good. I think most of the stuff that Marvel's done has been awesome. They just haven't screwed up as much as DC has. So
a new Weissman from Atlanta checking in, telling us to go play God of War. Kratos is just gods, and now going for the Norse gods.
Oh, that's what it is.
Esteban Mejia is saying this is coming out July 8th, so sooner than I thought. So we got like a week. Man. We got a week. So, anyways, Ed, one last thing.
Watch that sucker and
one last thing you had put on your notes, though, before we should probably start thinking about wrapping this up, because there's so much to talk about. We could just go on and on and on. But you put in your notes something about Thunderbolts was announced, right? Is that?
Yes.
What is that?
It's going to be a really cool movie, and
I don't know anything about these characters.
Thunderbolts is basically the general that's after the Hulk. What's his name again? See, I got to write these down, man, because I forget all the names. There's just so many characters.
Yeah.
Anyways, he eventually becomes the Red Hulk, and so he gets together all these B-list. Well, look at that. He gets all these B-list characters, and he makes a team like basically a government team is what the Thunderbolts is. So I think that's going to be interesting. They're like the Avengers, except maybe not as powerful, but it's a government type of superhero. So they do stuff for the government. So I think
I'll have to read up on them. I'll have to read up on them. I really don't know much about them. It's a word I've heard of. I've heard of the Thunderbolts. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah. So, and God, we wanted to go over so many other stuff. We didn't get to talk about
Next
The
week.
Boys, which I thought was pretty interesting. We'll talk about
we can talk
next
about
week.
that for a while. Let's talk about that next week because there'll be a new
And-
episode next week as well. So we can cover that next week.
And there's also Game of Thrones, and there's so many other nerdy stuff that we can talk about. So we'll try to cover them all next week. Guys, go ahead and put some comments and let us know what you guys want us to talk about, what you guys want to talk about. And Peter, we forgot to go to that to the caller.
Oh, I forgot about it.
We should go to the caller before we leave.
All right. It's time for your voicemail.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. This is Ted from Coral Bagel Grove. And we're talking soccer tonight. You guys are talking about geek stuff. And I don't really have to say about that other than I did listen to your podcast tonight. I listen to it as a podcast the day after, usually, at work. And, well, you guys don't know a lot about Cafe Bustelo, I'll tell you that much. Even Ed, who is Latin himself, doesn't know a lot about coladas and
Cafecito.
cortadito, cafe con leche, cafecito. Unbelievable, to be honest with you. Okay.
Unbelievable.
I'll listen to this geeky stuff tomorrow at work and shows. I did one time at Ed's house. We watched with Carlos. We watched what's that movie? It's like a continuation of the Alien story. Ed, do you remember that?
Prometheus.
I don't know. It was pretty geeky, pretty science fiction-y. It was a good movie though. Can't remember the name of it. It's really though. All right, bye.
I think he's talking about Prometheus. I think you watched it with him. You should know.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't remember. We've watched a lot of stuff, so eventually we'll get to it. But dude, we didn't even touch Star Trek today, so
No,
that's my territory right there.
A whole
So,
well, Brave what is it called? Brave New Worlds or Strange New Worlds. That's a good series. We could talk
Strange
about that.
New Worlds, I like it too. It's really cool. Captain Pike. But
All right, Ed.
yeah. All right, guys.
I got to go to bed. This show's
Brown?
late for me. This show's late for me. I got to go to bed.
It's late for everybody. Guys, let us know what you guys thought. Put it in the comments. What do you guys want us to talk about next week? We're gonna try to do this every Monday at 9 p.m. This is the FMTV Nerd Show.
All right.
With Peter Brown and Uncle Ed.
So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And we'll see you. Don't forget Sunday night show. So we'll see you on Sunday. See you, everybody. And I don't have an outro, so we're just gonna.